Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we are going to be taking a look at Modern Warfare 2. Now, I don't often buy brand new games, much less do I spend $70, but big shout out to my buddy Buzzley, who actually donated to help me get Modern Warfare 2 so I could put out some sort of content or review for it. So big ups to you, Buzzley. Thank you so much for that. You can talk with Buzzley or other awesome people like him in my Discord. Link is in the description below. Alright, well, enough of the intro. Let's go ahead and get right into my thoughts about Modern Warfare 2 2022. Now, if you've been around the channel, you know I always like to give you my background on a series or on a franchise so you can kind of know where I'm coming from with my thoughts on the game or movie or whatever it is that I'm reviewing. So Call of Duty is a series that has kind of been around me, but I have not really engaged with it until Modern Warfare 2019. Now, what I mean by that is I used to grow up playing Modern Warfare 2 with my brother and one of my friends, split screen. That was the only way I had ever played Call of Duty. And to be more specific, it wasn't something I did all the time. It was something I really only did like one summer ever. So my limited knowledge of Call of Duty really kind of lends me a unique perspective for the series because I'm not coming in as a tryhard, I'm not coming in as a veteran, I'm really just coming in as somebody who has played a Call of Duty game and is also a really big fan of first-person shooters. So I'm going to be coming at this more from the perspective of somebody who just enjoys FPS games, more so casually than somebody who takes it extremely seriously from like an esports perspective. So my initial thoughts on Modern Warfare 2, aka the Cliff Notes version, what are my immediate impressions? I think it's really good. I think it's really, really good with a couple of caveats, which of course I'll kind of get into a little bit later in this video. Right now, I want to start off on the positive note. I think this game controls immaculately, and I think the shooting is fine-tuned to a precision point. I think the game does a really, really great job of making you feel just as powerful as you do in any other kind of Call of Duty game, or any other multiplayer game for that matter, and I think they do a really good job of making each weapon feel really distinct and interesting, and overall, I've just been having a blast with the game. There's so much content, and I know that's something that Call of Duty is kind of known for. So once again, to give you a little bit more background, Modern Warfare 2019 is the first Call of Duty game I really threw myself into. And what I mean by that is like I really took a lot of time to study the maps, to learn the guns, to learn the best loadouts, to get the best perks, like all that stuff. Like I didn't get to do any of that, any Call of Duty game previous to 2019. So that really is kind of my base point. And I really liked Modern Warfare 2019. So a lot of the things that I really did enjoy from 2019, they definitely carried over to Modern Warfare 2. And I think they do a really great job of kind of expounding upon the universe that game built and making it feel much more grounded and realistic. Now, of course, that is to say Call of Duty has never been a game that solely relies on realism, but considering each era sort of brings a new, interesting perspective to the table, I definitely feel like the newer Modern Warfares have been going for this pseudo-realism that is like one part Rainbow Six and also one part classic arcadey Call of Duty. So it's really kind of a nice mix of tactical gameplay with like a realistic edge, while still remaining the core Call of Duty that everybody wants and enjoys. So in terms of what the content you're getting with Modern Warfare 2 is, let's kind of dissect it, starting with the campaign. Now, this year I did go back and play some of the old Call of Duty campaigns. Now, the only one I had really ever played was the original Modern Warfare 2 before this year, and I still think that, to me, that is the absolute pinnacle of Call of Duty campaigns. I think they're really enjoyable for the most part, but to me, that is still probably my favorite all time. I just think it has a mix of really intense and engaging missions, and really it created a feeling that a lot of people playing first-person shooters hadn't really experienced since probably like Half-Life 2 or even Halo. So it really gave this incredible feeling of each mission being super important to not only the story, but feeling impactful, and each mission really had a lot of fun variety to it. I really think it still stands head and shoulders above most campaigns in other games. So Modern Warfare 2 2009 is one of my favorites. That being said, I do think Modern Warfare 2 is not as good as that, but I think it takes a much more interesting approach, especially for today's time period. I think it creates a much more interesting and realistic setting than I'm used to seeing from Call of Duty campaigns. It's like if you took the mission in 2019, I think it was Clean House, and you made that entire setting, that entire feeling that you get playing that mission, an entire campaign. That's kind of the impression I get with Modern Warfare 2's campaign. Now, that's not to say that it's always like that, but I do definitely think that they took those tactical elements and they took that very realistic approach and they kind of injected it into the normal Call of Duty mission structure while making it much more grounded. And I really think it is pretty cool. I don't always love every choice they make in the campaign in terms of like gameplay and such, but in terms of like the story and the way it flows and the way it's told, I think it's way more cinematic, it's way more engaging, and I think it's way more impactful than some would have you believe. So overall, I think it's really fun. I think it's definitely worth playing, and I even want to go back to get some of the achievements I missed. I would say it's definitely worth playing. It's a recommendation from me. Now, on to the meat and potatoes of the entire Call of Duty experience, and that, of course, is the multiplayer. The multiplayer is great. I honestly have been having a great time with it. I think it is absolutely every bit as good as Modern Warfare 2019, and in a lot of ways, I think it's better. I definitely think the maps are better than 2019, and that's coming from somebody who enjoyed a lot of the maps in 2019, but overall, I think they've mixed them up in a really good way. There's really not any maps that I feel that I dislike when they come on. I always feel ready to engage with whatever map it is I'm playing, and overall, I think they did a really good job of kind of pacing them out and making them feel varied enough that there's a lot of different elements that you can learn to them. Now, I know there was a lot of concern about the level up structure with the game. Personally, I haven't really had a big problem with it. I think you definitely do have to grind a bit more than some of the older Call of Duty games. Personally, I'm okay with that because to me, that's kind of the fun of Call of Duty is the grind for the attachments, for the weapons, for whatever it is you're doing. And I think it makes you have to think a little bit more on how to get what you want, which personally, as somebody who plays games, I think that's kind of a rewarding structure. I don't know that everybody is going to like it, especially if you're accustomed to the way Call of Duty's been doing it. I can certainly understand why you'd be upset with it. Personally, it doesn't bother me, but your mileage may vary on the level up structure. I really do have to hand it to all the people that worked on Modern Warfare 2. I'm really impressed at how many modes, maps, guns, weapons, all that stuff that they actually packed into this game, because it feels very, very stuffed in a good way. Like, it feels like if there's any type of mode or gameplay that you are looking for, you could probably find it in Modern Warfare 2 because there's just that much content, and I really appreciate that. Even if it's not something that I'm gonna want to interact with, like I'm a pretty standard multiplayer person. I enjoyed my standard like domination, hardpoint, team deathmatch, kill confirmed, all that stuff. So I don't really like to venture out into other modes very often, but I appreciate that it's there for the people that do. I also think it's really cool that they added in a third person mode. I'm not the biggest fan of it because I just prefer to play it in a first person setting, but once again, I appreciate the accessibility option. And that also kind of leads me to the settings and the optimization for PC. I definitely think there's a few gripes I have on the performance of the game. When it first launched and I was playing it, I was definitely getting some weird graphical glitches anytime I died or anytime that I was loading into a map. I don't really know what if it was my PC or if it was just the game itself, but I'm thinking it was the game itself because it tends to have smoothed those out, and I really haven't had the problem since launch, so I think I'm okay on that. For the most part, performance has been really stable. I've been able to hit my frames, not a problem. My PC isn't the strongest, so the fact that it's running as well as it is definitely a good sign. Overall, I think they did a really great job with the fine-tuning of the game and also with the updates on the game. They've definitely consistently made it feel better, and I appreciate that very much. I also do have to give another big shout out to the developers for adding so many accessibility options. Kind of going back to what I was saying about the third person mode and just all the content they've managed to put in this game, they've managed to put in a bevy of different accessibility options, which is really, really nice for those who need it and for those who want to be able to fine tune and tweak every little aspect. It is really, really impressive to me that somebody took the time to go through and put all these things in. So once again, very, very well done. And I suppose the last thing I should talk about, and it's not directly tied to Modern Warfare 2, but that is Warzone 2. Now, admittedly, I'm not a big Battle Royale person. I never really have been. I enjoy it from time to time, but it's definitely not something that I frequent. I also don't really feel the need to review or touch on it as much in this because I want to talk specifically about Modern Warfare 2. I basically just wanted to give a heads up so nobody thinks that I'm doing a comprehensive, all-in-one package deal kind of review. This is specifically about Modern Warfare 2, so Warzone 2 will not be included in today's discussion. But to give my overall final thoughts on Modern Warfare 2, I think it's great. I think it is definitely a little pricey at $70. I don't particularly love that, but considering how much content is in the game, considering how many hours I intend to possibly get out of it, I feel comfortable in at least saying that you're getting your money's worth, and as long as you like the Call of Duty formula, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. If you are somebody who's tired of Call of Duty or you're tired of the structure and you were hoping that this was going to inject something totally different and new, I don't know that you're going to be super happy about it, but I definitely do think there are enough new elements that if, you know, like the perspective, right? If you were somebody who was like, I would love a third person mode, they did that. If you were somebody who's like, I would love a bigger Battlefield-esque style mode, they put that in. If you were somebody who was like, I would really like it if they did a battle pass that was more closely mirroring others, they've done that as well. It really kind of depends on what your expectations for Call of Duty are. And if you're somebody who just wants some different changes to the formula, then I think you might be happy with it. But if you're somebody who's like, no, I don't like the general gameplay of Call of Duty, this is not going to change your mind. So overall, I think it's great, and I think it's worth your time if you're an FPS fan or a Call of Duty fan. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Have you guys picked up Modern Warfare 2? Have you been playing it? Are you enjoying it? Do you hate it? What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, no problem. And as always, folks, please continue to have a great day and take care of yourselves.